Hello. I'm doing this video. It's quite personal, but I think it's important to share. The reasons why I decided to drop off the fashion show yesterday, so I didn't catwalk at the end. It's still very fresh, so emotions gonna go up and down, so I'm gonna try to be the most objective as I can, and I do my best here. So how to explain? So to get in a fashion show, there is a process of you are represented by a modeling agency that they do fashion, and they send you pictures and everything. The casting happen there, or you do freelancing, what I've been doing, and you go to open castings, so designers or fashion shows organizers that they create the casting call, and you go. You leave your comp card. There is a modeling business card with your pictures, measurements and everything, details, and normally they make you walk, and they take your measurements, they take your pictures and go. And after that, if you are selected, they contact you. And so for this particular show, I did the casting. I went there. As soon as they saw me, I did the work, all the process I said. They told me, oh, we have a fashion show on Saturday, and we would like to have you in. Fantastic. I was like, these things happen. So I was very excited about it. And so also after that, normally there is the fitting, and that depending how long or how much time there is in between. Some designers, they do the fittings previously, sometimes they do on the day. This will happen on the day, so that's why we went very early, and the designers will choose and they will do that the fittings. And normally that happen in a door closed, like closed doors. So you don't see that selection if they pick you up and then they assign you a design. This one was particular as we were like 50, 60 models there, and they make us to do a line, and then the designers were coming and they were picking up people. And what I found is a bit intrusive or a bit quite exposure there, but that's fine, you know. Sometimes it's like, okay, that's what it is. We're here, and yeah, someone will pick me up. And so we were talking about around 10 designers, and the designers were coming there is also that they reuse models. So there is a point around 5, 6 designers that they were picking up people, and we were kind of the size start to reduce. They put the other people in front of us, and then they reached that, okay, we were around 6 something, but 3 of us, we were curvy models. All in the other side, there were the stereotype or the traditional model, very young, very thin and tall. And again, at that point, you start to really work your self-esteem, like, that's okay, we're here, that someone will pick you up, it's okay, it's important to be here, to be representative as well, to be more inclusive. What happened is one designer didn't show up at the time, and so the organizers, they decided, okay, you who is left, you're gonna go with that designer. Okay, fantastic. Things that you don't want to hear, and that's where the casting is important to happen, or the selection behind doors is like, well, yeah, the designer have a big jacket, so that should be fine. Something that I don't need to hear, but because it's creating a lot of other things, you know. It's just like we're talking about a selection of bodies and image here. After that, what happens? You go to the fitting. Again, it just was one designer, but that's fine, you know. That's okay. It's okay. We're like, I'm here, but if it's that what they can give me, that's fine. When the designer arrived, they called us, and we were there. She was looking at us, and another moment she disappeared, and they say, oh, we're gonna line again, and the designer's gonna choose the models. She didn't choose us. so they reused the other models, fantastic. I was like, okay, we got the shorter, like with the three of us, the curvy models. We were standing there, the organizers were doing other things, putting everyone in fitting. I was like, we still here, standing. This was 3 hours standing in that line, in that exposure, when you see picking up people, and not only for us, it's also what you see from outside, but that's all my thoughts. Anyways, so I got the guts, because at that point, it's like, okay, what is happening now? So everyone is assigned a part of us. So I approached the organizer and I told her, well, we haven't been picked up. What happened? Like, oh, well, we're gonna try to see if there is some designs that fits you. And I asked, okay, but if that thing happened, what happened? It's like, well, you're invited to stay just to watch the show. At that point, I said, no, that's not okay for me. That's not okay, because I went for a casting, you took my measurements, and I'm here to work and not to be redoing a casting, a selection, like with this exposure, that I found it very humiliating and not respectful when you see that all that situation was happening. And I felt that the person who had the power to actually put this inclusivity, because the casting was open, like if you put like there is plus ages, plus size or whatever, and then you pick up the people from casting, you are sure that they're gonna be in the show. It's not like a random, okay, yeah, we'll see if they pick you up. That is my first experience that I get this situation. So that's not normally happening, as I explained before. But at that point it was like, I can't, it's not good enough. It's not okay. The organizer left. So obviously this was in a room with everyone there. So it was a bit unpleasant to do it. Some assistant came and say, oh, sorry. Are you okay? Are you okay? I'm like, no, I'm not okay. And then they say, well, but that's the industry. That's the answer that I received. Like, no, and like, it's more like, no, we are the industry. So it's you, them, I. So we create this. And by doing this, I know that I believe that it wasn't unintentional. It is not intention to harm people, but we were not protected neither and back up. So we got exposed in that situation, and what we are teaching there, because it's not only for us, that it's not personal at all, but it's like, okay, we're standing here, we definitely see that we have a different body. The designers, they are not picking up for that or for other reasons. Designers, that's fine. There is not to find the guilt here. But if it's gonna be that profile, then don't call me. I'm fine. I get completely other people that want you to have me. So I don't need to be here if you don't want me to be. But if you open that door, then yes. And the sad part for me is like to see all these young women, and I've been talking with people like 20 years younger than I, and with all the expectation and everything, that you see that if you have a different body, would say a bit more fat than they are, then you might not be choosing and facing all that rejection. So at that point, I took a breath. I went for a walk and I said, okay, I'm gonna think of what I'm gonna do. For me, and it was very clear for me, I'm not gonna waste any more of my time. I choose where people choose me to be, and I didn't feel that. I feel unrespected. I feel a waste of time, and my time is valuable. And the way they was ending to handle this situation, like nobody was making aware, everyone was seeing it. So I decided to leave, and because I felt if I stay, then I am supporting that these things carry on not happening. And I don't deserve, the girls with me didn't deserve that, and nobody else deserved to be exposed in that way. I harm, it's a sort of abuse and a humiliation. That's how I felt. So I decided to go to the organizer and tell, oh, look, I'm gonna leave, I'm not staying. And she's replied to me, okay, but don't do drama, that's not good. So again, it's like, okay, definitely that clarified that I'm not the person that I want to work with and don't be represented with, because by saying what the true was happening and putting some light, then I'm doing the drama. And I feel like, no, that's not the place where I wanted to be. So with another girl, we pick up and we left. That brought me a lot of peace, a lot of tears, and I'm very glad that I have people that it came to give me that support that I needed at the time. Is a very vulnerable place, more when it's choosing by your image and your body, and that's also what I carry on. That is, you don't see yourself in the magazine, don't see your bodies, and that's why I'm here to create more that space of inclusivity and representation. And there are people that don't want, that's completely fine, but let's be clear from the beginning. I hope that this is a big learning from everyone. For me, I'm very proud of myself. It hadn't been easy for me to say and express my boundaries and to stand up and in an environment where there is a lot of people, a lot of stress, and say what I think and I feel, and demand that respect. So I'm really happy for that. And hey, if it's not here, someone else. I've been in the industry for more than 10 years, so managing and navigating rejection is something that I'm used to. But the rejection is hard. It's not. You need to understand that it's not personal, but it's kind of feeling like, okay, you're not choosing how you look, and for. So that means that you're not enough and you're not gonna be loved. But there's a lot of things happening with that rejection. I know today, and that is so grateful to hear, rejection is a redirection. I choose to be with people that want to be with me. And I know that I can bring that value, and I'm happy for that. So I will say, just let's be clear. That's all. And from the beginning, that's really important to create a space that is content, is kind and warm. We are working with people. We are creating the industry. And I think those are the most important values that we need to bring inside before the show. So I hope that this stopped carry on happening, because then I'm thinking that young girls looking at this, there's like, it's gonna create a stigma of like, I need to be in a certain way, if not, I'm not gonna be chosen, and I'm gonna be loved, and I'm gonna be enough. So yes, I did this without crying. Woo! I send you a lot of love. Have a good time, because life is what we have now, and that's what something that also told me. I can be dead tomorrow. Like, I'm not gonna go with this horrible feeling. No, life is good to live. So do and embrace the spaces that they bring you that energy. And people, that's most important. So have a beautiful day, and thank you for listening. Thank you. Ciao.